Hey everybody, I just finished another book in the Spooksville series. This is number 5, The Cold People. This is a book that I was very much anticipating reading, and I'm glad that I finished it. I'm actually already excited to read the next book in the series, and yeah. The story follows our four main protagonists, Sally, Adam, Watch, and Cindy. They are hanging out doing something, and they're talking about the weather. And it's in the middle of like July or June, and there's this a cold front that comes in, and everything's freezing. Everything's kind of weird. The kids go exploring in the woods, and they run into these blocks of ice that's really tall, and they don't look like natural ice. They look kind of weird. So Watch goes up to one, and he pulls out a thermometer that's on one of his watches, which is pretty cool. He sticks it on the ice cube, and it's like negative, like 20 or 30 degrees, like something like that. It's like really crazy cold. Like, how is this cold with this cold front? And Watch is very curious to see what's inside these blocks of ice. So he says he wants to thaw them out and see what's inside of them. So the kids go and they get a bunch of sticks and they build this like campfire thing, and they start thawing one out. And there's a man inside with a blue jumpsuit, and he grabs Watch and takes off into the woods. And they say this thing is like very fast, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. So they can't catch him. So they go to Bum, which is, the guy from the last book that it's kind of like the mentor. Kind of reminds me of like Hagrid from the Harry Potter series. Very funny, very awesome character. Like all of these characters are really fun, but they go and they find Bum, and he asks, what's going on? What are these things? And he explains, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you guys because I know I'm not going to get any of this right. This Christopher Pike, I'll say about R.L. Stine, like R.L. Stine's very vague with some of his monsters and villains and stuff. Christopher Pike is not. Christopher Pike goes into a whole history lesson with what these things are, and I'm gonna give you the Brandon version because there is no way. I reread the part or most of the part that explained what these things actually are, and I'm still not 100% like sure if I'm gonna get it right. So I'm gonna try. So bear with me. Um, it's kind of slight spoilers, I guess, if you want to go into this blind and you don't want to know what these things are. But yeah, basically, Spooksville was a part of this place called MU, and it was at war with Atlantis. The one that got lost underwater or whatever. And there is this alien race that is controlling both sides to fight or something like that. And they promise one side, Mew, that they can make this these people live long enough if they destroy Atlantis or something like that. Something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I'm telling you this ain't right. So anyway, basically what they do is they fill these uh, humans with this thing called Cairo, and Bum tells us that these things are called Cairo creatures, or I think that's how you pronounce it. So basically, what happens is these things promise to destroy Atlantis with all this something, yeah. So they shoot this asteroid down, or they ask for help from an asteroid, and it blows up Atlantis. But before it blows up, these Cairo creatures who have been filled with this substance called Cairo, they fly or they get shipped to the North Pole, whatever, and that's how they live, and that's why they're here. It's not explained why these things are in Spooksville right now, and that's for a later book. I know they're going to explain like who brought these here. I'm sure it's the witch. We don't know that yet. But yeah, that's basically what they are. In short terms, they're old Spooksville civilians that got filled with some Cairo DNA, and then they fled to Spooksville, or fled to the North Pole to escape from the heat or something. Yeah. So that's my version of it. Again, I think you should read this to read it yourself because, like, if I was in school at Spooksville, I'd be failing all the classes because this was very hard to follow. Not because it was hard to write, but it was just a lot to process in such a short book. Like, and it didn't really even take up that much room. So props to Pike. Really strong props to Pike for going out of his way to actually just sit there and explain this. He put a lot of work into this book. I'll say that up front. All right, so basically they learn that these things are scared of fire because when he grabs a watch and takes off into the woods, they have these sticks of fire, so they go after this thing, and he gets scared and runs off. So that's basically what happens. These things also don't like people with normal blood, and they're kind of like vampires. They want to turn you into the cold thing or whatever. And yeah, so they Bum tells them that these things are going to start spreading. They're going to start thawing out the other Cairo creatures, and before you know it, they're going to be attacking. And that's what happens. The kids run, and they go to get weapons. They go to get flamethrowers, and this scene is so awesome. Sally is mesmerized by like the flamethrowers, and she can't wait to like get revenge, get Watch back. They hope he's okay, but everybody's thinking that Watch is not okay because Bum says, once he freezes you, that's pretty much it. That's what they do. They'll freeze you and they turn you into like a mind numb zombie. And that's basically what this is. These things are basically like zombies, but with ice powers. They can look at you and freeze you. They'll touch you. They'll freeze you. This was actually pretty scary. Like, this is probably one of the more scarier YA books that or not even YA, children's literature, I guess, that I've read. Because if I would have read this as a kid, this would have actually probably freaked me out a little bit, because thinking about these things that chase you and freeze you and turn you into stuff, it's very awesome. So anyway, they go to get flamethrowers at this army surplus thing, and it's classic hero die, like this gun guy that like loves guns. These things are attacking the house. They're hiding, or attacking his store. And he says he's got like a M16. I don't know much about guns, but he's got like an M16. He said this will do some damage to them. He goes out and shoots them, and it's like shooting like Godzilla. It doesn't do anything. They attack him. They look away. They don't want to know what happens. But basically, these things are taking civilians out of their house, freezing them, and turning them into other monsters. And yeah, they end up getting on a hot air balloon and running away, and trying to save Watch. In one of the more awesome scenes, these things grab Adam by his ankle, and they make like a hissing noise or something. It's very cool. I'm underselling it already, I know, because this was really, really fun. So he freezes them, or he grabs Adam, and he like draws blood by like scratching him or something, and he starts like Adam slowly starts freezing. Like his leg starts freezing from his ankle all the way up to his thigh. He starts not being able to walk, and yeah, there's like an awesome climax, and yeah, Sally again steals some scenes that's straight up awesome. They find Watch. He's like in the cemetery, and he's just walking around like a zombie. And Adam, in the more sincere scenes, he tries to like tell him, "Hey, I'm your friend," and he almost recognizes him. Like his eyes are blue, they go black. Like he kind of recognizes him. Like he slows down, then he just like jumps on him. And Sally takes a stick and hits him in the head with it and knocks him out cold. So they try to save Watch. He's got this stuff in him. Fly off into the air balloon, and yeah, there's really some funny scenes with Sally again where she knows about Adam's condition, but she doesn't tell everybody, and she's like, "Oh no, like he's not infected with the DNA or anything like that." This is awesome. There's another scene where they go to try to find help from the cops, and the cops in this book, I think it's the first time they make an appearance, and the guy is just eating chocolate, like he's the only police state. It's very hilarious. He is the only cop there that's sitting in the room by himself eating, and he says that all of his cops like went missing. Very cool stuff. Yeah, Spooksville's a very terrifying place. This is a little more terrifying books, and I'll say up front, this is because I think that Spongy, he commented on my last TBR video, and he said this one was just kind of solid, which I'm guessing is just kind of an average book. For me, I liked it better than the Alien book. I know right now I did. It's going to be impossible to rank these books, God willing, whenever I finish them. I don't even have them all. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue the series. But yeah, no surprise, I give this 5 out of 5 stars. Nothing else. The only thing that I can complain about this book is the climax. And not the climax was bad, it's just like the solution to the climax. It just kind of happens. Like something, Adam comes up with an idea to do something, it happens, and then everything's just kind of okay. Like, it just ends just like that. We don't know, again, why these creatures are here, why they showed up in Spooksville, and Bum says that that's an answer for another time. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically the cold people from Spooksville. 5 out of 5 stars for me. Highly recommend this book. This was very fun, very very engaging. This was so good. Very action packed. It didn't feel like it slowed down any. Like, I was excited to see what would happen next. Like, is Adam gonna be okay? Like, there's times where I legitimately thought, like, is Watch not gonna be in the next book, or you know what? I'm not gonna say if he is or not, but yeah. Is Adam gonna be okay? Like, what about his legs? Are they gonna have to? Because he mentions that, like, they might have to cut it off because it gets frozen. This is very mature, very very cool. This is more, slightly above Goosebumps and things like, probably a lot more um above Goosebumps. But yeah, this was cool. I mentioned to my girlfriend I was reading this, and I told her that I was like, you would love Sally, and she was like, what? We're riding in the car, and I told her, I was like, Sally's awesome. I was like, there's a scene where she has to drive a 4x4 truck. She's 12. Keep in mind, Adam and all of them, they're like 12. I believe all of them are 12 anyway. And she says that she can drive a car. She gets into the car, and it's a standard shift. She's like, oh no, I don't know how to drive standard shift. And Adam has no idea what she's talking about. She's like, well, what do you mean you don't know how to drive? I thought I thought you did. She's like, well, yeah, automatic. This is standard. He had no idea what she's talking about. He was like, well, learn how to drive this. And then she's like, okay, well, what's a girl to do? And yeah, it was so good. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for me, guys. I rambled on quite long enough. Please let me know in the comments below, what did you think about The Cold People? If you've read this book, do you have all the Spooksville books? What's the best one? I'm excited to keep going. The next one is called, I think, The Witch's Revenge. Yeah, The Witch's Revenge. That's number 6. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get to that probably next month. This was a lot to process in this. I'm sorry for the probably non-coherent explanation of what the cold people are. Again, you need to read it yourself, because yeah, he goes into detail. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for me, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.